So I wanted to try something a little different here, because usually I don't do post commentaries, but in this case I had a lot of good footage that I didn't have any commentary over. Just recording things, just, for the sake of recording things. So 315 has been a little bit of a mixed bag for me. I think my biggest concern is no matter what kind of stuff they add, which I think like the medical and inventory stuff are good changes, if a little rough around the edges. Um, they're good, but the desync is the biggest problem. That it doesn't matter how good of a feature you add, if it doesn't run, if the server tick rate isn't up for it, then it doesn't matter. But you can still get a few cool things like nose diving into an 890 hanger with a 135. So I should mention the reason I'm using a 135 is because the Reliant still has some problems, like spawning in. It typically will, if you spawn it, store it, and then spawn it again, it'll typically spawn in a the vertical configuration, which means you can't get inside of it, and it's also dancing on the hanger, and it won't blow up, so you can't claim it. So it's just this whole deal. But well, I'll get to that when I get to it. Just some me clearing out this place, this hangar. You can see the AI is a bit derpy, completely unaware of my presence. I am using a suppressed squad automatic weapon, I guess. But it's, they should probably be paying a bit more attention, and the fight with the AI is going about as well. I think stormtroopers are more accurate, to be frank here, but that'll change. The last bit I have here is from a much lower lower population server where the AI was actually running pretty decently. So, but we'll get to that when we get to that. As you can see, like this room always terrifies me with the A90 missions, because like they just have every angle on you, but they're often just too derpy to actually act at all. So, yeah. I don't know what's phasing in my view there, but I do know that these AI are not that great. So the main reason I was doing the 890 mission here was because I wanted to get the Stitcher core, which right now I've already grabbed off of this guy, so I'm just grabbing the legs. And I figured out this sort of, you have to back up so that when you go to the inventory, the camera is actually in a right place where you can actually view stuff and just grab stuff that you're holding, bring it into the vehicle inventory. It's a interesting system. The UI needs to be cleaned up, but you can get used to it. Here, though, have a little interesting problem with the I have to actually be inside the 135 to actually, access an inventory, but I can't crouch when I'm carrying something, so I place it on the cargo ramp, and then that like knocks me out, but it puts me in this kind of faux state where I'm not actually in a down state, but I have taken like, full damage. But somehow I'm able to pull out my multi-tool and jab myself and heal, and actually I'm now at full I'm at full health, but I can't actually move around at all. So yeah. So if you leave the server, you'll actually keep all of your gear. Everything will be saved. I don't know what will happen if it's in a down state, but another thing. So as you can see, I couldn't access my Reliant from that menu, even though it's stored in Area 18. So I just bring it out and then store it back. Specifically, like some weird thing glitched where I think I got a wing shot off and part of the loadout didn't save correctly, so I had to like re-equip some guns. Just a little bit of fun with loadouts. But now I can load it, or now I can actually access the loadout, change stuff around. They changed around well, they changed around a few things. Little things, like how exactly this menu is sorted. I do also want to mention, I'm not sure if this is true, but it seems like you can only access ship components. Maybe it's just weird where you have to like store a thing and then bring it out again, but it seems like you can only edit your ship loadouts from your primary residence, from your main base, as it were. I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong, but that just seems like what's going on. And also, I do realize now that I've flown around a bunch of ships, avoiding the Reliant, and then now using the Reliant. The Reliant's my favorite ship. Or at least my favorite fighter. It's not the best, obviously, but it's just my favorite. And I love it, and they really need to fix that glitch. They really need to fix that bug. I'm just here taking bullets to the cockpit. That's fine. Unfortunately, the problem that James Cameron ran into in the demo for CitizenCon, where just reloading doesn't work. Yeah, that happened to me. So no light machine gun here, only pistol. And here I shoot this guy in the leg a bunch of times. I think either this guy's got some like seriously good prosthetic legs, or the shield for the Reliant is just kind of messing things up. I think it's like reducing the ballistics. I assume it's actually reducing ballistic damage by 95% or whatever, like it does for ship weapons. I'm going on that assumption. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but just so you're aware. And I ran into that little glitch, but it sorted itself out soon enough. This time I've learned my lesson. So one thing I will mention about the Reliant is that it has a pretty low capacity for what it is. It's got 2 armor racks, but it doesn't have enough storage to like actually put multiple armor pieces, multiple undersuits in its dedicated inventory. You can put them on the cargo grid, which I'll show later, but yeah, it's a small inventory. But here I've got this sorted out. I'm just doing some inventory management, just sorting things out. Eventually I get stuck up on one little thing. I think there's like a medical tool or medical ammo thing, and then there's not. And now we've got the armor. I didn't get a great shot of it, but it just looks really badass, especially with all of this armor I currently have. Also another glitch. The sights are kind of misplaced on a lot of the guns, so you maybe don't have front sights or rear sights. So I decided to, actually use the medical bed here. This is the first time I actually did it because I was concerned that, like, oh, am I going to set my spawn point, like, permanently to an 890 that's going to despawn? But it's not that big of a problem. Not to spoil things here, but let's just say that, yeah, so enemies just randomly spawning in behind you. I don't know if I somehow missed that guy. As far as I can tell, looking at it in post, I didn't, but it was also the death splash screen. It's always been broken. It very often doesn't show the place you actually spawn at. Granted, there probably isn't actually a splash screen for this place, but there's that guy. Magic teleporting man just got, kicked in the nuts by a naked man fresh off the regeneration. So who won? Who won there, really? But yeah, also it seems that you can just kind of equip the undersuit and you kind of have everything equipped, which is nice. Also, equipping doesn't necessarily mean you equip it to your... It doesn't mean you, like, you're wielding it, but it means you're putting it on one of your inventory slots. Grabbing is what is actually grabbing it with your hands, putting it in. Oh, also there's a little glitch if you don't have the UI, the HUD elements, take off your helmet and then put it back on again, and it should solve things. Here, everybody lines up just perfectly. I'm a little paranoid that somebody's spawning behind me again, but it's just the hit marker acting weird. Maybe there's ricochets. I don't think there are, but we can pretend. That guy goes nice, solid 9 out of 10, I would say. Have this weird glowing overlay from a gun. That's a little weird, but whatever. Could get some double taps, but I don't. And this guy has some actual dynamic movement, and my tracking is terrible apparently. Luckily it gives me enough of an opening to give a little bit of a charge. That guy, I assume, died because his friend was shooting at me and missing and accidentally shot him, just like just like that one scene had a Bad Batch with the clone commandos and the TK troopers. But I digress. Do a little crab walk. I grabbed a bunch of these armor pieces, just so I could have them, so I didn't have to do this mission every time I died and got a thing. I went straight back to Bajini Point. Take my sweet ass time restocking and everything, I guess. So I would definitely recommend stopping by. If you're you have to make sure also, you have to be very cognizant of the fact that the camera is going to spawn in front of you. You can rotate the camera with the right mouse button, but, you know, just a thing to be aware. Oh, also, you have to mouse over empty space in the inventory, it seems, or you're just going to swap things around. This UI needs to be cleaned up. This UI absolutely needs to be cleaned up. I'm really confused why I have the Inquisitor or the Star Kitten legs on my ship, and then I'm like, what? Oh, I have to find an empty place, and then that happens. So I have to, you have to pick up each of these individually. Eventually this is going to be much better, but for right now it's manageable. I think the biggest concern to me is that, like, there's a timer that they're just going to recall your ship, and for me personally, if they put my Reliant into storage, I'm not getting it back out again, or I'm not getting it back out in a way that I can actually do stuff with. So yeah, but that's a personal problem for every Reliant owner. Here I have a bit of a hard time seeing the being able to grab that piece, but one of the bigger problems here is that, let's see, so I'm sorting through ammo here, checking everything. For one thing, you can't reload, which is, you can't reload used magazines as far as I know. Maybe they refresh at some point or something. I don't know, but you can't reload, and you also don't know which guns have ammo. You can't tell that. So here I picked up one gun, and it has no ammo. And I've got my my light machine gun that has no ammo, so I'm going into an underground bunker mission with no weapon, because of course I am. So I'm concerned here. I see this box, and then it's like, there's only fruit. Fuck. So I'm just sneaking. I'm like, I gotta be sneaky here. I gotta take out a guy, get his gun, and do that whole deal. Some classic Metal Gear, OSP stuff. This guy, I'm not sure. Okay, I'm not sure. So this is the part where the AI gets significantly better. But, you can see somebody's trying to shoot at me. I'm peeking up, trying to get this guy to move. This guy moves up, give him the knee, pick up the gun. This guy's still not shooting, but he is moving. Have a little hip fire action there. Like, I really don't like shotguns in general in this game, at least not in their current state. So You know, I pick up this gun, and it's got no ammo. So I don't know if that guy was just not shooting at me because his AI was bad, or he legit didn't have any ammo, but that's how it goes sometimes, I guess. Also, I'm actually really happy here. Moving targets here, take him down, switch to my med gun, stab myself, heal up, and it works beautifully. And I'm like, oh hell yeah, this is awesome. I'm just waiting for more. I see that guy running. I'm like, oh shit, I got no ammo, get the gun. Oh yeah, and I get knocked back. Respond pretty damn quickly, I would say. Wait for that guy, get back up, run over, get into cover again, stab myself again. It's a good time. Should I be playing with friends? Yes, but I don't have any friends. I don't have any friends in first wave as far as I know. And yeah, so I'm going through just making sure that no enemies have spawned. Other parts of the map. I will say that, like, the elevators, I've had a lot of times where, you know, the enemies just, it spawns the first wave in, like, the you know, the wave defense ones, and then it just doesn't spawn anymore. I've seen it work one time, but it's really underwhelming. But I think, like, actually, this would be extremely challenging if AI, like, actually worked most of the time, you know? Here I am stabbing myself up again. I gotta say, the multi-tool is definitely one thing I think that everybody should have on them. Like, it should be one of the things. It should be as essential as should be as essential as an undersuit, a helmet, basically. I would say. And I think this part, unfortunately, the guy's coming up, shoot at him, and then I just immediately die. Which is, like, again, I'm just like, this, okay. It's good. He acted a bit too fast for me to, like, really be able to say, like, yeah, that was fair. And the fact that I just immediately died, yeah, that was not so good. Am I excited for 3.15? No, because I think the desync is going to be really painful, but at the same time, the features they added are really good.
Welcome to the store.
They're rough. They're rough. They're absolutely rough. The UI needs work. I'm actually still not 100% sure how to equip med pens and, like, the, you know, medical pens, but I think it's not C. It's not C anymore. So that's interesting. But I digress. It's a mixed bag patch, I think. And of course, this is first wave PTU, so there's definitely some bugs that are going to be worked out. I know that. I understand that. I typically don't play first wave very often, but just a thing to note. But the desync is not going away. The desync's not going away for a while. So until next time, have a good day. Great day even. Chowskis.